no one knows more about coming to the aid of failed businesses and trying to restore them than Wilbur Ross, the CEO of W.L. Ross & Company. He joins us now from Washington, and the question is the United States a failing business? You and I have talked about this before, Wilbur, and how you see the United States and what it needs.
Well, I think we ought to first put things in perspective. From 1928 until the 1990s, the Republicans did not have control of the House of Representatives. So this is quite a unique event, this changeover we're seeing. And nationwide, there are 513,000 elected officials, of which only 38,000 are Republicans. So I think we need to put this whole thing into that kind of perspective. I'm more optimistic that there will be something come from the new Congress than some of the other speakers.
What do you expect? I think that, and what would you like to see?
Well, I think that the big question near term is going to be, will the incumbents who've just lost election, how will they react? Will they take a message from the public that they didn't like what was going on, or will they go forward with the same old stuff? Because remember, this crowd is the ones who are going to get to vote on whether or not there is the extension of the Bush tax cuts. The Republicans will not have enough power to put that through by themselves. It takes the affirmative action of both houses and then acceptance by the president. So that's going to be the first challenge. I think the second big challenge will be health care. And I heard tonight a big rumor that Newt Gingrich is going to start a petitioning campaign in all the states where there are senators up for election in the next cycle who voted for health care, trying to get a petition out that it should be repealed. That's going to be a very dramatic thing if, in fact, it occurs. What will be the end result? We don't know.
The thing we have not talked about, Wilbur, is the financial regulation and whether this Congress will try, the upcoming Congress will try to do something about the major piece of reform legislation that was passed by the Congress last year.
I would be a little surprised if they did too much there. I don't think that the public in general was particularly transfigured by the Financial Reform Act. I think, first of all, the people don't even understand it. I think what people are worried about is jobs, houses, and the implication of health care. I don't think these other things are really that high on the people's agenda, and I hope that the newly elected people will kind of follow the people's agenda. We can live with the financial regulation that's been put forward. I don't like a lot of it. I think a lot of it is silly, but it's not going to make or break the country. Some of these other things might.
Referencing an earlier conversation you and I had, you worry a lot about American competitiveness in a coming economic environment in which there's been a paradigm shift of both economic growth to another section of the world, both in emerging markets in Asia but also in Latin America.
Oh, I do indeed, and I'm especially worried, as you well know, Charlie, about the lack of engineering talent in the States. We graduate 1/7 as many engineers as the combined total of China and India, and a high fraction of the ones we graduate don't even stay here because they can't get visas. Instead of deporting engineering talent and importing their output, we should be importing engineering talent and exporting their output. So I think we have that part of immigration policy totally backward. We're also not spending enough, believe it or not, on R&D. The federally funded R&D budget now is lower than it was before the beginning of the Bush administration.
So here you are as a businessman saying we need more investment in terms of R&D and in terms of research and development, as well as in terms of science and its contribution, and education and its contribution to our future.
Absolutely, because our only hope is to continue with technological leadership. And one of the tragedies of this past administration, or the present administration, is that it's been talking about all the jobs that greening will create. Well, the truth is, China is the leader in wind technology because they really went about it. We're not.
Well,
and they're exporting a lot of it.
We'll talk more about that. Wilbur, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to see you.